Hello, 7th graders. Your new video is for section 8.2, which is on estimating population size. And so to do this, the main people that are going to use this would be like scientists, anybody who's doing some type of research on the population size for animals. They do this all the time when they tag animals and then they let them go. Sometimes they tag fish, and then they'll keep track of how many tagged fish were caught in a certain amount of time, and when they do that, they can estimate the population of the fish in that lake then. They do the same thing with deer, elk. I mean, those are the main types of people that are going to use this, but I'm going to go through here how to do this. If you tag some animals and then you caught some of the tagged ones, how you could estimate what the actual population is. And keep in mind that this obviously is only an estimate. You can't get an exact answer unless you actually go out and count every single animal that there is. And so we have a little proportion here that we're going to use. We take the number of tagged animals counted divided by the total number of animals counted. So basically tagged animals versus total animals. And that's going to equal the total number tagged and then the estimate of the population. It goes on the bottom of the right side of the proportion. So it'll make a little more sense here in a minute when we go through this, hopefully. So here is our proportion that we're going to use for all of these. It's the same proportion for all of them. You set them all up the same way. You put the numbers in the same places. So it says researchers count 48 marked deer and a total of 638 deer on a flight over an area. They know there are 105 marked deer. Write a proportion to estimate the deer population in the area. So I'm going to write a proportion, and it's going to look like this one up here. So number of tagged animals counted. Well, it says right here, they count 48 marked deer. So they counted 48, and total number of animals counted, it says a total of 638 deer. So that's your total counted, and that will equal total number tagged. It says they know there are 105 marked deer total. So 105, and the estimate is what I'm trying to figure out. I want to know, what is the estimate of deer in this area? So I'm going to crisscross just like we learned. So 48x equals whatever 638 times 105 is. So 66,990. So then to finish that off, you solve for x, you divide by 48. And that is going to give you 1,900, excuse me, 1,395.625, and obviously you can't have part of a deer, so you're going to round it, and you're going to say about 1,000, I don't know what happened there, 1,396 deer. Okay, so you can do this by knowing how many are tagged total, how many deer there are total, and then how many marked deer or how many marked animals you counted. Then you can use this little proportion. It'll give you an estimate of the total population. So they're saying there, basically it's about half, right? If you look at it, if they counted 48 deer out of 105 that they marked, that's close to a half, right? So then you know that this 638 that they counted has to be about half of what there really is. Okay, so you should know then that this number, right, would have to be almost a little over double of the 638. So just bring that knowledge with you. We'll talk a lot more about it when I see you again. Have a good night. Good night.